All right, here we go. Blast from the past with Adema's self-titled debut, put out in 2001 through Arista Records, produced by Bill Appleberry and Tobias Miller. The release sold over 1 million copies worldwide, with over half than that in the US, and was led by lead single Giving In, which just really set the melodic tone for the record, as you would expect by a lead singer. Just really showed off their instrumental skills and songwriting style, which pretty much stayed throughout the album, except for the other two singles, "The Way You Like It" and "Freak It Out," which were more rap focused and straight to your face, so to say. Um, so the band came up from Bakersfield, where, funnily enough, another great new metal band at the time was originating from, Korn, which was no coincidence because Mark Chavez, the singer of Adema, is Jonathan Davis's half brother. So there was a lot of buzz because of that around the band. And also, they just made waves coming in with this album, which was great, sold a lot, and was followed by Unstable, their second release, with also led by a single called Unstable, but it only sold like a third of that, or maybe even less. Like, it was really just nowhere near there, but we're focused on the debut album here. So 12 songs on here, 42 minutes, and it was pretty much just new metal all around at the time, right? There was nothing too complicated in instrument wise, right? Of course, you have that legendary riff for the Giving In intro, which just defined this whole band, I would say. Still one of my favorite intros to a song ever. Just going super hard and melodic, and all that combined with Mark's voice on this album, where he was really just in peak performance, or the whole band pretty basically was, right? Being fresh together, having that fresh band energy really helped them a lot. I would suggest, because afterwards they fell apart pretty quickly. For the second album, Unstable, sales numbers weren't as high, right? It only sold like a one third of the first album copies at a time where that was pretty much still a metric that mattered the most for labels. So Arista dropped them afterwards, and Mark left the band, and there was a whole lot of drama involved there. But this album, this one still had all that energy, right? We had Giving In, setting the mood. We had The Way You Like It and Freak It Out, breaking out of that mood. Mm, and then we had even more emotional or melancholic, depressive songs like Skin and Speculum on there, which I still love listen to till this day. This album never left that much of a note on new metal or metal as is, right? It was just one of these releases that came with a bang and didn't do much, right? Okay, it sold over 1 million worldwide, but it didn't have any influence. It didn't grab a huge fan base, I would say. It really left a mark personally, but it wasn't even really well received critically, because it was just seen as some kind of static new metal album, right? Like nothing too complex, nothing too risky. Just play it safe. Get some radio tracks out there. This was just like one peak performance by a new band back then that didn't leave a mark, didn't leave any influence, and still I wanted to give it a blast from the past, because this one peak performance alone was just enough to influence me personally. I still listen to a lot of the songs from this album personally, like Giving In, Speculum, and Skin. Just really the melancholic, emotional songs mostly. Not the border songs like Way You Like It or Freaking Out.